Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's a wrestling classic here for episode 27 of the TWC Show.
Whoa.
It's going to be a little bit different this week. We're in Devon's basement. We're not in the studio. We're not live from the Vibe because we thought we'd do something a little bit different this week. We're going to do our Royal Rumble predictions. We're going to talk about some of the things that happened this past week in wrestling, AEW Dynamite, NXT, Smackdown, Raw. But we're going to do something a little different. As we're recording this podcast, we're going to have a watch-along. We're going to watch the 1997 Royal Rumble. So fire up your guys' WWE Networks. Go to an hour, 22 minutes, and 14 seconds. An hour, 22 minutes, and 14 seconds. Pause it right there, and we're going to watch the 1997 Royal Rumble while we talk about everything that's going on in the wrestling world. What's going on, boys?
What's going on, man? Happy to have you here.
We got Devon's brother here, too.
How's it going?
I don't know when he's going to chime in, but hopefully you guys can tell the differences between the voices.
See, I'm pumped. I've been trying to do a watch-along since day one, and I think that people would want to hear it, but for me, I just enjoy watching the old stuff.
I just think it's hard when we're recording the video and recording the podcast when we're in the studio to actually have the wrestling on the screen.
Yeah, you can't.
But since this week...
But you're all about copywriting footage.
Since this week, all we're going to do is put out the audio. I might put the audio up on YouTube too, just in audio form with like the picture or something. But we just figured we'd do a watch-along this week since our producer's a little under the weather. And it is Rumble weekend. It's Rumble this Sunday. It's Friday today, so I'll probably have this dropped by tomorrow in audio form, or even by tonight in audio form. But
so if there is a little issue with the audio quality, just cut us some slack here. It's the first time.
Yeah. So we didn't really do a vote or anything for which Rumble to watch, but we both decided on 1997. It is one of my favorites. I think 1997 is one of my favorite years in professional wrestling generally.
Oh, easily.
I think every company was just shooting like fire at that point.
Just
like,
remember it so
WCW
vividly.
was killing it. WWF was on the upswing with new stars being built like Stone Cold and
all us kids were just
The Rock
proud,
and stuff.
and we all loved Bret Hart. This is the whole America
Yeah,
versus
and the
Canada.
WWF had Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker, and those were my guys. And the WCW had Hogan, Savage, and Piper. And I'm like, those are my guys
Like
too.
this
and
is
Sting.
this is setting up the lead up to Austin and Bret, one of the greatest matches WWE or any promotion of all
my
time.
favorite match of all time, Austin and Bret. It's also, and it's weird because if you actually look back in history, like the word was that it was supposed to be Shawn Michaels versus Bret at WrestleMania 13, but obviously Shawn lost his smile and the plans changed.
Mm-hmm.
But when you look at the end of this Rumble, and for those of you who have watched it before, you would think it's crazy that they wouldn't go to Bret in Austin at WrestleMania, considering how this Rumble ended.
Yeah.
Considering how, because obviously they were following up. Bret just faced Austin at the 1996 Survivor Series, and Bret came back right into a feud with Stone Cold. But they were going to move away from it and go to Bret and Shawn again.
Who would they have had Austin face then?
I have no idea.
Sid? No, because
Sid faced Taker. Oh, but it would have been for the belt, Shawn and
but
Bret.
Sean won the belt here.
Taker and Austin?
Sean won the belt here.
Would it have been Taker and Austin? I wonder if anyone knows that. If any of you wrestling analysts, historians, or anybody that knows everything about everything, read every Observer and magazine, and listened to every podcast in the world, if you know what the plans were for Austin, if he didn't face Bret at WrestleMania, because we knew it was supposed to be Bret versus Shawn, but I don't think any of us actually know what the plans for Austin
No,
were.
especially because Sean won the belt here.
Yeah, and then Bulldog and Owen fought Mankind and Vader, so they were doing their thing. Taker fought Sid, so it'd either be Sid or Taker, I think.
Yeah, but then you can't. Then it would just be obviously not for the belt.
No, because it would have been Shawn and Bret for the belt.
Yeah, but and would they have done the double switch if it wasn't Austin catching steam and going against Bret? Would it have been a heel Austin against maybe a face Sid or a face Taker? I don't know.
I maybe because at the point Austin was heel and he was still heel going into WrestleMania. Just the fans turned them basically.
Yeah, and then they went for it full bore on.
I have
WrestleMania.
no idea.
Weird.
Yeah, I think we all knew it was supposed to be Shawn and Bret, but we don't. Maybe Bruce Pritchard or somebody mentioned what the plans were on one of those podcasts, but I listened to so many of them that they all kind of
I don't
meshed
remember,
together
I don't
now.
remember anyone mentioning it. The whole conversation is always that it worked out
Did
the best for
Pillman
Austin.
come in '96 or after?
Who?
Pillman.
He was around in '96.
But was he injured at this point? Because I know they were supposed to do Austin Pillman at King of the Ring, and then that got changed too because Shawn and all this
He
stuff.
might have been injured during this time.
Or Bret was injured by King of the Ring, I mean. Because it's supposed to be Bret versus Shawn at King of the Ring again, then Pillman versus Austin.
Because I think after Mania, when Bret was heel, was when Pillman was with the Hart Foundation, right?
Because I know they really wanted to do Austin Pillman at some point. That was always something they wanted to do.
That
in
could have been
97.
great if Pillman was healthy.
And even if Pillman didn't pass away, in '98, Pillman versus Austin having a feud would have been sweet.
Yeah.
After Bret was gone and Shawn was gone, and they,
you hear, I think what they said. I don't remember which. I think it was Pritchard's podcast. No, Shivani's podcast. They were talking the other day about how Perry Saturn wanted to wear a dress because Pillman got it over in WWE. Remember with that whole Goldust stuff?
Yeah.
Like, I remember that year so clearly, and I was just so young, but still just remember it so
I
clearly.
just used to watch those tapes of my 97 Raws so much, and then we have like random episodes like Jacked and Shotgun Saturday Night.
But even like without the tapes, I remember watching those Raws so clearly.
I remember some of them. I was still really young. I was a year younger than you, but
I remember like it was like such a big deal that the Titantron came
I remember
out.
the Titantron came out. I believe it was March 14th of 97, around that time though, and it was the same episode of Brett snapped. And that's when you knew Brett was turning heel.
Yeah.
When he pushed McMahon in the cage. It was right for Mania 13. And
this is bullshit.
That is probably one of my favorite segments of all time. I posted every
year.
You
know it. I know it. Everybody in the back knows it.
Because I grew up with Brett being such a hero of mine, and like the ultimate good guy, crying when I met him. And this guy was angry, and I was like, yo, you never see Batman or Superman get mad. No. You never see him get pissed and lose their shit. And Brett was losing his shit. I
remember when I was younger too, my uncles always used to tell me, yo, McMahon's like the owner or whatever. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's Jack Tunney. Like, Monsoon.
But it's so funny when you get older and watch back how many times they hint at it. Like Sean would point to Vince, and Brett would.
And Jim Ross would always make comments too.
Yeah, and it's like you don't pick that up as a kid. But I just remember that segment.
And Shawn Michaels always did too. Hey, Vin Man.
If you guys never watched that 97 Raw from March, I think it's 14th. I might be wrong though. It's a steel cage match in the main event. Psycho Sid versus Bret Hart for the WWE Championship. If Bret won, then he would be the champion. Then his match with Austin would be for the championship. But if Sid won, then his match with Undertaker would remain the championship match at WrestleMania. The cool thing here is that we saw something unique. We saw Undertaker trying to help Sid win, so their match would still be for the championship. And we saw Stone Cold trying to help Bret Hart win, which is so odd because he wanted their match.
For the belt.
He wanted their match to be for the championship. At the end of it, Taker got the best of Bret, and Sid ended up winning. And then Bret snapped, and then there was a big brawl at the end where Bret shoved Vince McMahon. Then Austin showed up on the screen.
I always wanted one of those Raw jackets.
And then Sid came out, and then that was when I think Bret, because now it's so overdone to see suicide dives or Topa Tue or whatever the hell they call them.
Topa Suicide.
Yeah, whatever they call them. We see them so much now, but I remember those 2 times I remember Bret doing it. On the Pirate that one time in your house.
Yep.
And here on Sid.
When he stole his jacket.
Yeah, and here on Sid. He just ran at him and just did a dive through the ropes on Sid. And that wasn't a common thing in 97.
No.
So it was cool to see. Maybe with the cruiserweights in WCW, but it wasn't on WWF.
Nobody jumped outside like that.
So he just dived onto Sid, and then out came Taker, then out came Austin. And then the weirdest thing was Shawn Michaels just came and started walking around. And I'm like, what is he going to do?
Man, we were spoiled. So many
and then
top
it just
guys.
went off the air, and I'm like, that was so cool, man.
Well, they're still taking down the cage and
yeah, it was nuts. But if you guys haven't watched that, definitely do it. But hopefully at this point, you guys are on the WWE Network. Royal Rumble 1997. The time cue's 1:22:14. I'm going to do a 5-second countdown. And when at 0, hit play. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And we're playing with, I believe that's Howard Finkel going over the rules of the Royal Rumble. You guys all know the rules. And Finkel's in the ring. He's saying that it's a big. Where were they? Where were they?
They're in San Antonio, aren't they?
Yeah. What was it called again?
Alamo Dome?
The Alamo Dome. Oh, and don't forget what happened in the Alamo. They kept saying that was the tagline for 1997. The big thing about this was Shawn Michaels obviously lost the title to Psycho Sid at Survivor Series.
When he got booed out of the Garden.
And Sid hit Jose Lothario.
It's crazy.
With the camera.
They put this whole thing on his back, selling all these tickets.
Yeah. And then they were coming back to Shawn Michaels' hometown, San Antonio, where Shawn would win the belt back. And like we were mentioning earlier, it was supposed to lead to Bret versus... Did they know Shawn was leaving at this point, though?
No.
Because why did Austin win the Rumble?
But he won it by cheating, remember?
Yeah, but then where were they going to go from that?
They probably would have went that Bret was a true winner.
Oh. Because when did Shawn lose a smile? In February.
Yeah.
Shawn lost a smile, then they decided to do that dope Final Four match that everyone always forgets about.
Yeah.
With Vader, Taker, Bret, and Austin, where Bret won the belt. Yeah. He won the belt. It was an elimination Fatal 4-Way match. One of my favorite underrated matches that people forget about.
Yeah.
And
huge consequences for everybody in the match.
But that wasn't booked until... And then the next night, Bret lost the belt to Sid because Austin interfered and cost him the match. And then they went that direction.
Man, Sid...
Who's number 1 here? Crush?
One of the Nation guys.
Crush?
Remember they used to chant Jailbird at him?
Yeah, because he came out of jail.
Jailbird.
He was Colorful Crush, and his whole gimmick was that he came out of jail and now he joined the Nation.
No, he was dark before that.
No, he was also...
Remember he fought Randy Savage at WrestleMania 10?
But then he went to prison. And now he's back.
Then he came back.
Yeah. It was only a year. That's crazy, right?
No. WrestleMania 10 was
94, and then 95, 96, 97. But he came back in 97, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why everything seems so far apart back in the day, but now everything seems so close.
Because everything changed so much.
But everything changes a lot now too. I don't know.
But it's a lot of the same guys.
That's the thing, I think. Because give it a year later, this Crush was in WCW.
Nobody goes away anymore, right?
No one jumps back and forth either. There was a lot of jumping back and forth back in the 90s.
But I mean, like, a lot of guys would come and go. They'd be gone.
That's true. Who's number 2 here? Red Lights makes me feel like it's Ahmed, but it's probably not.
Oh my god.
It is Ahmed. Ahmed is number 2. Ahmed, okay, listen. In 1996, when I first remember watching wrestling, I thought Ahmed Johnson was the shit.
I used to use him in the video game Warzone.
Hitting the Pearl River Plunge. He used to tag team with Shawn Michaels.
He's just, you're going down.
I don't think I cared about how bad his promos were until I was an adult and I saw other people making fun of them.
Dude, I actually remember watching him when I was younger thinking, wow, this guy just keeps dropping people.
Yeah, he wasn't safe. He didn't seem safe.
That Pearl River Plunge, some guys he could not do it to.
But man, he was a beast, man. But
Vince really wanted him to be top guy.
I know, but it's like, Ahmed, like, this is a weird comparison that's probably bad. Is Bobby Lashley our modern day Ahmed Johnson?
No.
Big guy, black, bald.
Bobby's one guy who should have and should be probably pushed a lot more. He should have been pushed the way this guy
I want to say Bobby's promos aren't great, but he does some good stuff in TNA when I watched it.
Yeah.
Like his
he was a great heel there.
Yeah, like they weren't the worst. And then and you know what? Going back a couple of years ago, I think it was 2017, when he beat Roman Reigns, and then Roman still went to face Brock for the title. Stupidest thing ever.
Yo, Lashley's been back for that long?
Yeah. Lashley should have faced Brock at some point already.
Hey, he got, what was it, like the biggest WrestleMania box office ever?
Lashley?
Yeah, him
What,
and
the
Umaga?
Trump one?
Him and Umaga, was that who it was?
When Vince went bald? I don't know, man. While we're watching this, let's talk about a couple of things here. I wanted to go over the Royal Rumble card for this Sunday. Talk about some of the matches that are going down. You tell me what you think. First things first, Andrade versus Humberto Carrillo for the United States title. I think...
You think Ray's going to come and help Humberto win?
I think Ray should be in Humberto's corner, but they do switch his title around a lot. But I think Andrade keeps it for a bit. I like Andrade as a champion right now.
Love it.
You know?
But I could totally see, especially if it opens the show, I could totally see Ray helping Humberto win.
I don't think Humberto's ready.
And then, Humberto will probably lose it the next night.
I don't think he's ready for the title yet.
I see him losing it the next night.
I think go a couple months. Let Humberto win at Mania. Let him chase it.
They won't do that.
He's a babyface.
They won't do that.
I know. For me back in the day, like going from the Rumble to Mania didn't seem like it was that much time. But now, like, I feel like you get like 2-3 different storylines. Is this fake Reza?
Now there's all the pay-per-views in the middle.
That's fake Reza's number 3 here in the 1997 Royal Rumble, by the way.
R.I.P.
Rest in peace. Yeah. What's his real name again?
No, I all of a sudden forgot.
I did. I knew it too. Fake Razor Ramon. Rick Bogner?
Yeah, there you go.
Wow, it is Rick Bogner.
Deathmatch guy? Or
Japan
guy?
Big guy in Japan. Big in Japan, but fake Razor. Dude, it was so funny when they came. He's gone. Ahmed already got rid of fake Razor. The thing that stands out to this Rumble to me the most is when we get near the end is how far fake Diesel gets.
Glenn Jacobs always does good in the Rumble.
That's wild, but he was nearly like in the last like 5-6 people. And I'm like, Diesel's in there when I was a kid, but then I had to realize it was fake Diesel. Ahmed Johnson's underwear used to always get like that. It's really annoying. You'd always have a wedge.
Watching like the 95 and 96 Rumbles back,
yeah,
I feel like Razor totally could have won a main evented.
No, 100%.
I would have been down with either Razor and Diesel, Razor Sid, Razor Brett, Razor Taker.
I saw a tweet though somewhere. It's like, remember when we could watch wrestling and not you didn't want every single one of your favorites to win the world title?
No, you just cared about their feud. Oh, yeah. He just eliminated himself.
Why? Because it's Farouk?
Yeah.
So Crush is in there alone.
They had a match earlier in the night, right?
Yeah, he fought against Farouk.
See, back then we cared about the particular feuds. We didn't want everyone to go to the top.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
Because we didn't think about it like that.
Yeah,
we were just like, we wanted them to beat that guy.
And we didn't really think everyone could win the world title. It wasn't like, Crush is, I'm a big Crush fan. This guy better win the world title.
We would have never said, like, Farouk deserves it. He's been around forever, blah, blah, blah.
No, there were certain guys even during this period that I wish did win it. Looking back, like Owen and Bulldog and Razor. Yeah. But it also doesn't bother me that they didn't.
Bulldog's one guy they always use around the top.
Bulldog should have won the title when he went to WCW for that little bit, though. 93, 94?
Should have.
Beat Vader? That would have been a huge deal.
That would have been, like, do that running power slam.
Yeah. I guess I haven't seen him being a world champion in WCW.
I could have even seen, like, Bulldog versus Diesel at 11 even.
How about the ladder matches this Monday between Andrade and Rey Mysterio? Big fan of it.
Yo.
A lot of people, anyone that's shitting on it because of one botch, just enjoy the show, man.
See, I haven't seen as much of that. What I've seen a lot of this new sort of argument people make is that it was so dangerous. Someone could have got hurt. All these, people are now.
This is why they haven't had a ladder match in Raw for 14 years.
But so many people are making those complaints now, like, oh, they could have got hurt. It was so dangerous. Like,
leave it to the professionals. They know.
That's what they do.
They know. Like I said,
and you know what? That one, air quotes, botch.
Yeah.
They were going for a really, if it came off, it would have been super silky smooth. It still wasn't even that bad.
It wasn't. And it could have looked, sometimes, this is the thing about wrestling, like sometimes the things that look like botches may be intentional, so it adds to the match. And I think people forget that. Like, if it's a botch, like, automatically it's a botch. I go back to, like,
didn't they do a Kevin Owens match where he purposely botched something as part of the finish?
I think so. Or like 2017, one of the ones that stands out to me the most, because, once again, huge Sasha Banks fan, as you guys all know, but her versus Asuka, when she did the dive, and Asuka threw a kick at her, and then Sasha landed like it hurt, and everyone's like, oh, she botched. I was like, no, she was supposed to catch a kick.
People always talk about that, like how the way Sasha like always seems like she gets hurt or whatever. Like, at this point, maybe she's really good at selling.
No, that's what I was saying. She's really good at looking like she's about to kill herself.
We always think she's getting...
And I'm like, and that one was a move. She was supposed to catch a kick, and she's not going to land the dive after catching a kick. She's going to have to sell it somehow.
We always think she's about to get hurt. Here he comes.
Oh, Stone Cold Steve Austin in at number, I think, 4 or 5.
OG vest.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5. Number 5, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Are you sure?
Yeah. This is pre breaking glass and stuff, right? I believe so.
Well, is only Razor and Ahmed gone?
Huh?
Is only Razor and Ahmed been eliminated?
Just Razor and Ahmed, yeah. Yeah, Austin entered number 5. Another match on the card that they tried to hype up on SmackDown. I don't know if you've watched it yet, but
not yet.
Lacey Evans came out.
Tell us a little bit about it.
Lacey Evans.
We never
came
get
out.
to talk about SmackDown when it's fresh.
When it's fresh, yeah, 'cause it's Friday night. So Lacey Evans came out. She cut a promo with Michael Cole on the stage, really Tony Schiavone-ish. But
Michael Cole's good at interviewing.
And Michael's good at that stuff. I honestly, I don't even mind Michael Cole that much, to be honest.
Not
with you
anymore.
But Michael Cole came out, interviewed her, and Lacey Evans dropped a really babyface, emotional promo about making her dreams come true and how she was in the army, and
they really gotta play that up. The Marine
thing. And she was really she actually got herself to become teary-eyed and stuff. And then Bailey attacked her. Yeah, and then Bailey attacked her from behind, and they started. What
a role model. And
then Carmella and Dana Brooke did an interview backstage trying to pump the Women's Rumble. And then,
dude, they haven't talked about that at all.
At all. This is the worst promoted Royal Rumble match for the women since this began 2 years ago.
Lacey probably wins.
The only person that's been talking about it is Charlotte. So
Lacey probably
is Charlotte
wins.
Gonna win?
Lacey wins.
Lacey's in the women's title match, so Charlotte's gonna win. Or I still think, this is my hot take, I still think Shayna Baszler wins and goes after Becky.
That'd be cool.
Because
so then Charlotte wins and goes after Bailey.
No, if Charlotte wins,
Sasha should win.
Well, Charlotte's on Raw, so she would have to go to Becky. But no
Sasha should have beat Becky. She should have won the Hell in a Cell against Charlotte. She should win the Royal Rumble.
Ideally, what I would want is Lacey beats Bailey tomorrow or Sunday, and then Sasha wins the Rumble and goes after Lacey.
I would love to see Sasha Bailey, because
Sasha is obviously biased when it comes to it. But Carmella, I wouldn't mind winning either, but it would make no sense with the story.
Sasha Lacey would be good.
That's what that's the thing.
They'd cut each other up on social media and on
Austin's
TV.
doing push-ups now. What a nasty heel.
What a Scott Steiner.
Just eliminating everyone and just hanging out. This is the Diesel spot where you just eliminate people when you stand and wait. That was made in '95 Rumble, where Diesel just kept eliminating people and then just wait. And they called it the Diesel spot. The best thing Austin does here is he starts looking at his wrist, his fake watch. It's like one of my favorite
things. Is this the one, or is it next year where he's like, I got a bullseye on my back?
That's the next one, because Vince didn't want him to win.
Yeah.
Austin, the only man to win 3 Royal Rumbles in a row.
I always loved that little goatee.
Not in a row, but 3 Royal Rumbles.
The goatee. Is this earring phase, or do you take it out?
I think he took the earring out at this point.
Brett the Hitman, put an S in front of your name. That's what I think you are.
Jake the Snake, and these guys, no love lost between these two. The Austin 316, look, he's praying to mock Jake and his rebirth to Christianity.
Where's the king talk about Jack Daniels and Johnny Walker?
It's probably in here. Austin, cut the infamous Austin 316 promo after defeating Jake Snake Roberts at King of the Ring 1996. So he definitely almost tripped over the snake. Was it Revelations at this point? It wasn't Damien no more, right?
I don't know.
Revelations
Damien?
was the snake.
Oh, he changed the name?
Yeah, because he had
At least he's not wearing that vest.
Is it crazy that Jake the Snake was in the WWF in 1996?
Yeah, it is.
In 97? 97? And I thought he was old then, and now when people do, like, I don't even think.
You know, they used to do those pre-match. They show a bunch of people doing promos and stuff.
How old do you think Jake was there? 42.
Yeah, dude. You know, AJ Styles is only 42 years old.
They did that on.
He can still cut promos.
They actually did that on Cornette's podcast that dropped today. They were reading the ages of like the AEW roster.
Yeah.
Because Cornette kept saying the Young Bucks were like old guys dressing like kids and stuff. But
what are they, like 34?
One of them's like 29 or 31 or something, 32. The younger one. And the
so they've been around since they were really young then.
Yeah.
Shit.
There's like a 4-year age difference.
They got a long way to go then.
But Omega and Cody's like 37, I think. And
no, like 35, 36 maybe?
Yeah, 35, 34 maybe.
But Cody probably doesn't have a ton of wear and tear on him either, though.
Who comes in now? Oh, Davey Boy. Dude, I love
one of the Royal Rumble MVPs like almost every year.
Dude, I love this guy when I was a kid. He was just jacked.
Dude, I tripped out when he cut his hair.
He would do that vertical stalling suplex or whatever. And
all the blood's rushing to their head.
Yeah, and like literally he'd do it to like Vader guys and stuff. Jake the Snake got eliminated off camera. And now Bulldog's going right at Stone Cold. But yeah, he'd do that standing vertical suplex, and honestly, it was one of my favorite. I used to think he was the strongest guy out there. Anyways, yeah. So Bayley and Lacey Evans.
It's been a minute. They only did 2 camera cuts.
I'm gonna go with Lacey Evans for this match because I want Lacey to win, and I want Sasha to go after Lacey because realistically, this entire feud was Lacey versus Sasha, and Bayley was irrelevant till last week, and they're trying to make her relevant these past 2 weeks to have this match. And Bayley has been one of personally like. Even during that Survivor Series triple threat thing with Becky and Shayna, the most irrelevant women's champion.
I think Lacey should win. There's no more run-up for Bayley. There's nothing else to do that's interesting.
And Lacey's been in the title picture so long as a heel. Like
you got to solidify the babyface.
You know, she's got to do a bunch of cool stuff. Like let her get this belt. Let her run with it to Mania.
I think it makes the most sense.
And I think let Sasha take it from her for Mania, man.
If Lacey wins, it makes the most sense.
I want Sasha to be the champion on the blue brand soon. The blue hair, blue belt, blue brand. I'm blue, baby.
Dabba-dee-dabba-da.
Yeah. Shorty G versus Sheamus, just a grudge match.
Oh, that's a match?
Yeah, Sheamus.
Shorty G with the quick roll-up or what?
Sheamus got a promo today, and it was about like coming back to get all the squeaky rats or something, and I don't know who wrote it, and they're probably really proud of themselves. I love Sheamus, but it wasn't good. It wasn't good, and he just cut it from backstage, but he's facing Shorty G. Obviously, Sheamus is going to take the W. Who's this?
Think so?
Yeah, Sheamus is going to beat Shorty G.
Shorty G might get a quick one.
This is...
You know, they always tried pushing Sheamus and Daniel Bryan.
Perry Yorth, this Mexican luchador wrestler. I don't even know how to say his name. Do you know how to say his name? You're just laughing over there. What's his name? Perry Yorth? Pierreth. Look at me. Pierreth Jr. He was big in CMLL and AAA. I was about to be like, hey. But yeah, that was, if you're watching the Rumble, that's who that guy is. Did we miss Bart Gunn? I totally missed Bart Gunn. I guess we're talking about the Rumble.
Go back to the card?
Oh, okay. So I'm going to go Sheamus. I think it's Sheamus' first actual match since
I could see Shorty G winning.
But it's his first match. Actually, Sheamus will put over people.
What if they make this go to Mania? They always wanted that Daniel Bryan and Sheamus thing.
Yeah.
They push that like every fucking year.
And Sheamus is at a point of his career he can put guys over and it doesn't hurt him.
He's also been kicking the crap out of him.
He's Sheamus, man. This guy's like a made man.
I love the bro kick.
When people were talking about some of the greatest wrestlers of the past decade from 2010 to 2020, it was really hard to not look at Sheamus and all his accolades. Like, because I remember, for a fact, like, and you probably know for a fact, I didn't like Sheamus for years.
Yeah.
I was not a Sheamus fan. I remember being like, the thing that turned me off.
It was always weird. They had him as like a babyface champion that always won in stupid ways.
I always liked it better as a heel.
Yeah.
There's only one thing that happened back in 2010 when he ran away from the Nexus that made me like sour about Sheamus. I'm like, why?
And that was when he was like super tough guy.
The Sultan, Rikishi with the Iron Sheik.
He has no tongue.
He has no tongue. For those that don't know, that is Rikishi Fatu before he turned into Rikishi, the Sultan. I actually like the Sultan.
I hope Rikishi comes in at the Royal Rumble on Sunday.
Do you know that there's only
dances with the Usos?
Do you know that there's only like 6 spots available? And I think even now, take away 2 because Miz and Morrison announced that they're going to be in it on SmackDown tonight. So there's 4 free spots. I was surprised people that
was NXT in the Royal Rumble?
No, but they always have NXT people come in. Like they've had Johnny Gargano in there before. They've had Adam Cole in there before. Last year, Aleister Black.
Do they have this year Velveteen Dream?
He still has back injury. Walter would be a cool one.
Keith Lee? Woo woo.
Keith Lee would be cool. CM Punk on WWE Backstage made his prediction was Keith Lee because like you might as well strike while the iron's hot.
He doesn't need to have a win. He can just have a good showing and
have him come in there and whatnot. Well,
and especially if a bunch of guys have to eliminate him.
Punk predicted that he wins, but he could come in. Now that he won the North American title, I can see him coming in there though. Still, that was a good.
They've always done that. They don't care if people have NXT belts or not.
No, which is fine. I'm just saying Because if he didn't have the North American title, I'd be like, oh, maybe he could win the Rumble. But now that he's a North American champion, I still like
we'll
to
get
see
into
him
the Rumble
in
in a
the
bit.
Rumble.
We'll get into the Rumble in a bit.
But anyways, Roman Reigns vs. King Corbin, Falls Count Anywhere match. There is a part of me that's thinking something could happen in this match that one of these guys could be taken out of it. Most likely King Corbin. So there might be an open spot in the Rumble. Because there really isn't those many spots in the Rumble right now.
I mean, Roman has to win, right?
Has to. Oh, here comes Mil Mascaris.
No job.
A legend.
Is this the one where he eliminates himself?
Yeah.
Or he just jumps out of the
ring?
ring?
Yeah, he does. I mean, he no job, man. He can't let anyone eliminate him.
No job.
You know who's going to eliminate Mil Mascaris? This guy's a legend. Mexican's biggest star, man. He's like a movie star and stuff, too, you know?
Apparently Blue Demon's getting a show.
Oh, look at that.
Some cartoon show.
The Sultan vs. Mil Mascaris, a match I never knew I wanted to see.
Rikishi always had a job.
Yeah. But back to this, yeah, I think Roman Reigns beats King Corbin.
Falls Count Anywhere. I don't think they're even going to do anything interesting. They'll make it go around the place because it's a baseball stadium.
This has to be the blowout of the feud.
They'll probably have a cool thing because it's like a baseball stadium. They'll go to some cool spot.
100% in the food area and stuff. They're going to fight there. And someone's going to get hit with a hot dog because they're at a baseball game.
Roman's got to come back at him for all the dog food. All the dog food stuff. Roman's got to come back with something gross.
Yeah. I do see, obviously, of course, we're going to see Ziggler and Rude probably get involved. Plus the Usos get involved. It's going to be a big thing.
Becky Corbin Lynch, could lose 100 matches in a row. It wouldn't hurt him.
Becky Lynch versus Asuka.
Do you think Becky wins clean? I don't think so.
I think Becky wins because Asuka's not the same Asuka no more. She's a tag team champion. She's with Kairi Sane.
But they could keep that story going just for because there's still more pay-per-views in between Mania.
I know, but yeah, you're right.
So Becky might get the clean win in February.
Like if Asuka beats her and then Becky beats her.
Not even beats her, but doesn't win clean.
Like a DQ or something?
Yeah, some DQ, count out, whatever.
Hunter Hearst Helmsley. Look at this guy. The game.
He didn't last very long.
Triple H.
He was out of the company pretty quick, right?
You know, at this point though, he was. Remember when he had a French accent? He was
Jean-Pierre Levesque.
He was a pretty good mid-card guy in '97 though.
Well, This is the year he had that match with Mankind in the cage, right?
And then in SummerSlam, and then in October, Cactus Jack came back to fight, and then he slowly started turning into Triple H. This is the year the DX was formed, '97. By the end of this year,
only in wrestling could a guy have a name Triple H,
and it flew, and that was a nickname from Shawn Michaels, and he rolled with it. And to think that I think guarantee you there was kids that were born in the year 2002 that started watching wrestling and had no idea what Triple H stood for at first. Yeah. Oh, there goes the Sultan.
Except for when Stephanie would be like, Hunter.
Yeah. Who the hell is Hunter? And they clearly don't know what Hearst Helmsley is.
So Becky and Asuka.
Oh yeah, but I'm gonna go with Becky still winning here. I do see Becky overcoming Asuka because once again it's that one person she's never beat, and then she gets faced with the other person she's never been able to beat. Shayna. Shayna won the triple threat match at Survivor Series. Becky put her through a table after Shayna won. There's unfinished business there.
Is that still a match you really want to see?
I just think
Survivor Series. I really wanted to see it.
Yeah, and I think they can build it properly. I think there's room for.
I think too because I think Rhea's taken so much of the steam away from Shayna. I'd way rather say the Rhea and Becky.
But Rhea's NXT. I think you.
No, you're right.
Shayna put Rhea over, and now she needs to leave there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So she's done what she.
That face to face, those just unreal. So
I think about it. Becky's gonna have to defy the odds. Maybe at some point leading to WrestleMania, the other two horsewomen come up and start helping Shayna. Now Becky has all this. You know what I mean?
It's gonna be one of those matches too. Becky's gonna get shit kicked the entire time.
Charlotte and Natalya start helping Becky. Next one was Charlotte and Natalya versus the other two horsewomen.
It makes me so sad because they haven't really done much with Charlotte for so long. So now she's gonna get all these.
We'll see. But this is the thing, and you've said it before, and other people in my Flick chat have said it. Other people on Instagram have said it. They're like, "Oh, that sounds like a great idea on paper, but Shayna's not the Vince type." And I'm like, I get that.
But there's a lot of people that we don't think are the Vince type that are doing pretty well.
And I said, I don't think it was ever in Vince's plans to push Kofi Kingston and put the strap on him.
Exactly.
But the crowd changed that decision, and he went with it. I don't think at any point in his career we're going to see Kofi as WWE champion. Vince will change his mind.
Not.
If there's money to be made, Vince will change. I don't think. Yeah, Bayley's not a Vince type. I think he's not blonde hair cutie like Alexa Bliss or whatnot.
I think for the most part, it seems like Vince is just deferring to the people around him.
Can I just say how big of an Owen Hart fan I am?
Oh man,
I love
the Black Heart.
As a younger brother of two, I related to Owen.
Did you ever kick their legs out of their legs?
Yeah. That's number 13. Owen just came out as number 13. Coming out as number 14, the bizarre one, Goldust. And at this point, because Goldust made his debut in '95, was it?
Yeah.
At this point, the character was kind of dimming, dimming down from that.
Dimming?
I don't even know, from the androgynous character that he was, you know?
Well, that's what they brought in Terry Runnels, right?
He was becoming... No, but Terry's with him in 96, and he was still that, like...
Well, that's when they started changing it, because it was just getting too much flack from everybody.
I still remember, 96, there was a Battle Royal on Raw, because Ahmed Johnson was Intercontinental Champion.
When he kissed Ahmed Johnson?
Yeah, but after Ahmed Johnson was a champion, and Johnson...
Oh, not kissed. Did mouth.
But Farouk made his debut in that blue gladiator gear.
Oh my god!
And hurt
Farouk Assad?
Yeah, and hurt Ahmed Johnson's kidneys. I remember that story. People were like, he hurt his kidneys, and because when you're a kid, that all sounds crazy. And then Ahmed Johnson was out.
Like they always had Shamrock spitting up blood.
Yeah. So then they had a battle royal, and Goldust won the Intercontinental title, and him and Marlena started making out at the end of the match.
Everybody
and I was like 7 or 6 years old. I'm like, whoa!
Thought he was gay.
What's
right?
going on here? It's a lot of tongue. I've never heard of this tongue kissing. So thank you, Goldust and Marlena. But another luchador is coming in after this. I don't even know how to say his name.
Wait, go back.
Sabamedico. Yeah, I don't know. Sabamedico. Yeah. It was cool to see Kairi Sane back. I want to point that out too. Kairi Sane fought Becky Lynch on Raw, and it was a fun match. And I was hoping it wasn't going to be like a quick Becky costing Kairi the match. Or beating Kairi quick or whatever, squashing Kairi.
Yo, is that the one Asuka just sitting in the corner the whole
time? That was when Asuka was sitting in the corner.
What's going on,
that
guys?
Was great.
You're going by AEW refereeing now?
That was solid. I liked it. I was a fan. So the Women's Rumble, once again, let's see if they announced anybody that's actually in the Women's Rumble. So far, these are the people that are announced for the Women's Rumble.
Is it 20 or 30?
It's 30.
Wow.
So Charlotte, Alexa, Nikki, Sarah Logan, Natalia, and this must have been updated because they showed the people that entered today, which is Carmella, Dana Brooke, Sonya Deville, and Mandy Rose. They all announced the entry today on SmackDown.
I mean, Lana will probably be in there.
Lana and Liv are going in a one-on-one match on Raw next week. They already announced it.
But they'll probably be in the Rumble, both of them.
I don't know. Like, there is other women, obviously. Like, Kairi Sane will probably be in here.
Mickey James.
Mickey James will probably be in here.
They'll probably do that Candice again.
There's women on Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. No, they already announced.
They'll do Candice again.
Yeah. They'll probably have Rhea Ripley maybe in there.
And what's her name? The hair?
Bianca Belair.
Yeah.
Yeah, she might be in there. I can definitely see maybe Tegan Nox and Dakota. If they're going to bring an NXT angle like Tegan Nox and Dakota Kai
Zelina Vega
to the Rumble.
Zelina Vega will probably be in there.
Zelina Vega. Maybe they'll have some surprise appearances. Guys, people like Alundra Blaze maybe. Who knows?
Ivory.
Who's missing? Nia Jax would be making a return.
Yeah.
I don't know who else would be in there. Like the women's roster.
Is Alicia Fox still around?
She might come in. I don't know if she's around. Who is else? I know SmackDown has a lot of women on there. But I think they're all in here. Sonya,
Naomi,
Carmella. Naomi could make a return. Sasha Banks isn't announced for this, but I hope she's in there.
She should win.
Technically, she's nursing an injured ankle from last week. But Sasha should be a surprise entrance and win. Shayna Baszler, Sasha Banks. I would say this. If Ronda... Oh, this is where Mil Maskus eliminates himself, by the way. Just jumps off and... Oh, the Wild Man's in here. The Wild Man Mark Mero. This is kind of messy. It's like they kind of have stuff going on and don't really know when the next person's coming in.
I like Marvelous Mark.
Look at that. That's a solid mid-card of 1997 right there.
The rest like, get out, dude.
You got Owen. You got Austin.
I wonder if he was even supposed to be eliminated than Mil Mascaras.
He did it himself. He was making sure that nobody else took him out. Who took out Bulldog? Owen Hart eliminated Bulldog. We missed that part. Triple H is out. It's weird seeing big names like that just getting tossed out. So we're down. Who's the Latin Lovers coming in next? Whoever that is. But yeah, I don't know. So Sasha Banks is a heavy favorite for the women's, and Shayna Baszler for me. Those are two. If I was gonna pick three, it's either Sasha, Shayna. This is the worst prediction, so I'm picking three. Or the only person that's really been talking about it, like they care, Charlotte. That's it. I mean, Carmella talked about caring about it tonight, but like she was off TV for like 3 weeks for God knows what reason. Charlotte's been
That's a weird one. That's a lot of spots to fill.
Charlotte's been on every week talking about the Rumble. And last year we saw some, or was it last year or the first year?
I think it was the first
year. No, it was last year that we saw a lot of people that came up and, like Lacey Evans was in the Rumble for the first time last year, and her versus Charlotte was a cool. I was there live. I remember, like, yo, Lacey and Charlotte, that's a match I would be down to see one day.
Candice LeRae.
Yeah, I don't know. There's going to be a lot of NXT women here, clearly.
Maya Yim.
I wonder if they're bringing any, like, outsiders. There's no outsiders they're bringing. That Mercedes Martinez.
What's the Brazilian?
Shanti Blackheart might come in.
Conti.
Oh, the Conti.
Yeah, she's nice.
Conti. How do you? Yeah.
Tanira Conti.
Maybe she'll be in, but I don't know because Raw has no women on their roster. In my opinion, I just been saying that every week.
Oh, the Iconics.
Oh, maybe yeah. That's good. Peyton Royce and Billie Kay make their return. They've been off TV for a while.
NXT UK roster as well. Kaylee Ray.
So we have 9 here.
Tony Storm.
Right? So we have 9 women announced here. Charlotte, Alexa, Nikki,
And
Sarah,
we might have
Natalia,
added like another
Carmella,
10,
Dana, Sonya, and Mandy. So that's 9. So we're saying Peyton Royce, Billie Kay, Tanera Conti, Candice LeRae, Tegan Nox, we're saying the whole like
Candice
Bianca Belair. I'm saying maybe Nia Jax makes her return.
Like an Alundra.
Maybe an Alundra. So that's 20. Okay. Sasha Banks probably coming back.
Maybe like a Molly Holly or
maybe a Molly Holly. So what? 22.
Paige?
I don't know. That'd be a big one though. We'll make that 23.
She's too busy taking care of her kids, right?
So what? 23. Who at 23? Maybe Brie Bella because Nikki probably won't come back.
Oh yeah.
24. Kelly. They seem to call her for everything.
Yeah.
25. I love Kelly. That wasn't a negative. That was just me just saying that.
Kelly's awesome.
26. I love Kelly, but who else? Beth Phoenix. She's around. Mickie James. So what? 28. Now we got 2 more people.
Beth versus Becky at Mania? Nah.
No. And then maybe Liv Morgan and Lana, which is 29, 30.
They'll both be in it.
So that's 30.
They need the bodies.
We're just doing like 6 NXT women, but hopefully that works out.
Yeah, that's what they've done the last couple of years, isn't it?
Yeah, so on the men's world, but who's your pick though? So I said either Charlotte, Sasha, or Shayna.
Has to be Sasha.
Sasha? Pick a pick.
Sasha.
I'm down with that. I want it to be Sasha. Sasha deserves that.
Well, you've
accolade.
got the Shayna narrative going on.
Yeah. Sasha should deserve the accolade. Oh, Ahmed Johnson is back beating Farouk with a 2x4 like he's Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Austin's still running around outside.
Austin dipped so he wouldn't get beat up by the 2x4. This is the thing where, does he put Farouk through the table here or does he just chase him out of here? The Farouk-Ahmed feud was great in 96-97.
Oh yeah, it was serious. And then he joined the Nation after.
Yeah, which is so dumb. PG-13 taking, and Clarence Mason taking Farouk to the back. Look at Sable. Sable's hot. She's unique, man.
She's what?
I was about to say she was hot for her time, but that sounded mean.
She always kind of looked like she was like 38.
Yeah. She's the Arn Anderson of females.
Right?
Savio Vega! What a legend.
He was just in MLW recently.
I know. He follows the page. He's a man. Shout out to Savio.
I had his action figure.
I did too, but I had the one where he's in black, and it was the Nation thing.
Same.
With the colorful thing,
Same.
and he had a little topi.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, that's a hat for you guys that don't speak Punjabi.
Him and Austin always feuding.
Yeah, that's like, Austin credits him for like helping him get his...
Dude, the first like year and a half, 2 years he was there, all he fought was Savio.
Yeah, a lot of people actually credit Savio for being like the first guy they worked with that like helped them.
He was like the Tito Santana of this era, right?
He was a utility guy that's like, you know when someone comes in, there's someone recently that was that guy. That if someone new came in, they worked with him. I think it was on NXT. Like Cassius Ohno kind of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I kind of want to see on Sunday, now that they've been talking about it on all the podcasts, how do they really time out when someone's going to come out next, right?
Austin eliminated Owen, and then Goldust was eliminated by Owen. I was wondering, where do half these guys go? Austin, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 eliminations in this Rumble. It's pretty impressive for a guy that came in as number...
What was Jesse James
5.
coming?
Yeah. What was I going to say? I was thinking about this because you know how they always talk about like, oh, this guy's won the Rumble from number 1 and it's a Chris Benoit and Shawn Michaels. I'm like, there's been a couple of guys that won the Royal Rumble from number 2. Like, isn't that basically the same thing?
Who?
Like, Rey Mysterio won at number 2 in 06. Yeah. And Vince technically won from number 2 in 99.
99.
So I'm like, that's
the same amount.
That's pretty much the same thing as number 1.
It's not the same as saying the same number 1, though.
I know.
It is the exact same because they both start.
Because they both start at the same time.
It's the exact same.
So I'm like, so the entrance makes them be in there longer. I started thinking about that the other day because I'm like, originally I thought Flair started at number 2 too, but he came in at number 3. And I was like, oh, but there has been guys that have won from number 2, which is basically the same thing.
It actually is the exact same thing.
And I'm like, it was Rey Mysterio in 06 and Vince in 99. Because it started with Vince and Austin, and it was Rey and Triple H in 06.
But you know what, though? If you watch a lot of the matches, if the guy who came in number 2 isn't lasting long, they can't make that comment.
That's true. The one thing I noticed today, when they finally on SmackDown, they finally aired one of those Royal Rumble by the number video packages, which I love, which gives you like the background of the Royal Rumble.
King doesn't have the record for eliminations anymore, right? Roman has
Roman
it?
does. But even the women's, I remember...
Brock's going to take it.
I remember the 2018 Royal Rumble, Sasha was the Iron Man. But I thought last year they made Natalya the Iron Man. I'm like, oh... no, like disrespect to Natalia, but I was like, Sasha should have been the Iron Man. It made more sense. But
I agree.
who? And then I think Daniel. Oh, and they also said that Daniel Bryan was the Iron Man for the Royal Rumble. And I was like, what Rumble? And they were referring to the Greatest Royal Rumble because they were adding that.
That doesn't count.
They were adding that to the by the numbers.
Wasn't there like 50 people in that too?
Yeah, but also the 2012 Rumble or like 2013 or 11, which one had 40 people when Alberto won.
Alberto.
Or 11.
11.
Right? Yeah. So I don't think they care about that. They just
Oh, here it comes.
The Hitman. And look at this shock.
They show that shot. I'll never forget this shot. Austin just like, what?
How much facial expressions matter.
Yo, Brett was low-key jacked.
Like, he knew that Brett was coming sooner or later. I just think he wasn't sure he was
Right?
coming yet, you know? And this is
Did
what
he though? Did they always announce the entrance back then?
No. It was still
But
around the draw.
you gotta see it coming, right?
The one thing I noticed, I was watching the 91 Rumble, and that was the one where Mach screwed. Oh, look at these guys.
When Brett was wearing all pink?
man. This has to be one of
Brett
my
was
favorite
wearing all
feuds.
pink in that one?
My favorite feuds of all time. He wasn't in the 91 Rumble, Brett, actually.
Really?
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't in the 92 one. He was in 91. My point being is that Savage didn't enter because he attacked Warrior and then ran away, so nobody came out in his spot. I think it was like number 18 or something. And Gorilla and Heenan said something like, "Oh, but we have the full list of people that are coming in right here, like not like in order, but like who's supposed to come in. So we'll figure out who doesn't come in at the end, and we'll know who didn't show up." I'm thinking, I like how now they don't say it that way. Like it's a surprise even to the announcers.
It's Axelmania.
Yeah, like it's a surprise to them too.
Curtis Axel still hasn't been eliminated.
Never.
Probably has since then, but
I love this feud, man. Brett and Austin just like they work together, man. Complete opposites in personalities. This is before he broke his neck. So
this is not
he's
only,
still a mechanic.
This is not only good story, but good match quality too.
They both clearly get facial expressions and stuff. So who's coming in next? Actually, I want to know.
Who's this
Brett's
sound
got
like?
the sharpshooter.
It's Jerry Lawler.
Oh,
He gets tossed out right away.
Lawler and Brett have no love lost either.
Yo, Lawler's jokes about his parents were always so funny.
The best. I just watched a little bit of the 2012 Rumble, was it? Where Michael Cole, Booker T, and
Is that the one Sheamus one?
and who else was this? Booker T, Michael Cole, and another
JBL?
announcer that used to be a wrestler.
JBL?
Was it JBL? And
He did his little dance, went in, got eliminated.
Maybe. No, Lawler, Booker T, and Michael Cole, they all went in.
Didn't Michael Cole eliminate Lawler?
Because Lawler and Booker T helped Michael Cole get eliminated. They pulled him off the apron. Booker
That
actually,
Michael Cole wrestling thing was so annoying.
the worst. When he was on Corey Graves' podcast and talked about it, it's actually pretty funny to hear about how bad, he knew how bad he was, but like Vince was, yeah.
Obviously, he's bad.
Yeah.
Like, what do you expect?
Honestly, that interview with Corey Graves really made Michael a very humbling person. So the men's rumble. So
Are we there now?
with
Is that where we are?
27
Is
people.
there any other
That's
matches?
it. No, that's it.
No, you didn't do Daniel Bryan and
The Fiend. You want to talk about the strap match? They just did a contract sign today. The Fiend. They did a good back and forth. The Firefly Funhouse, Bray and Daniel Bryan talking to each other. And then the Fiend came out to sign the contract, but he attacked Daniel Bryan.
I think it'd be dope if Daniel Bryan won and went into Mania as a champion, and you can have the Fiend win the Rumble.
You can't have
You
the
can't have
Fiend
Bray lose
lose
yet.
yet. You can't.
I don't even want him to lose at Mania then.
He's going to lose that Mania to Roman. Roman's winning this Rumble.
No.
Here comes Glenn Jacobs,
I think Brock's going to win.
the Devil's favorite demon, Diesel.
Brock's going to win. By
Brock?
hook or by crook.
No, Brock's going to be eliminated by whoever he's facing at Mania. We just don't know who that is. Could be Drew.
Okay,
Could be Tyson Fury. Could be Velasquez.
They've been forecasting Drew so much that it's just like almost can't be him.
I know. And they started doing it, like, it seemed like 1 week they're like, we're going to start pushing Drew and he's going to be
They
the
have
guy.
been, though.
And they have, but it was like,
Last few weeks they
it's
have.
a very hot shot.
I don't know.
Look
I would
at-
love to be Drew.
I almost believe this is Diesel. Look at him.
But then I try to think who would be a dope Brock match for Mania in a build. I can't really think of anyone.
It's either going to be Fury, it's going to be
It's gonna be
Velasquez, it's going to be
Not Fury.
Drew, or honestly, I don't know. Yeah,
I
there's
can't
nobody
see
else.
Velasquez winning the Rumble though. He'd probably just eliminate Brock.
Go to your thing, and I'm going to be the members of the people coming to this Rumble. But at this moment, look at fake Diesel go. They're giving him some offense. He's beating up Austin and Brett. Like, who would have thought Glenn Jacobs is fake Diesel beating Austin and Bret Hart in the 1997 Royal
The
Rumble?
dentist?
The dentist, Isaac Yankem. But it's crazy because fake Razor came here and just got eliminated. Look how much offense this guy's getting. If you haven't, check out the Kane interview on the Stone Cold podcast, Broken Skull podcast on the WWE Network. Yeah, I'd go Taker, Kane, and then Goldberg for the belt. Oh, is this Terry Funk? The Funkster's in here?
Chainsaw Charlie?
No, he's as Terry Funk. The Funker. He was so in and out of everywhere at this point, right?
Your mother's a whore.
Funk and Austin, they had some beef on Shotgun Saturday Night for guys that don't know. I think that's who he
Is
said
that
about.
on the network yet?
No, but he said that about Austin. He said
that was when Shane started commentating, right?
Yeah. Funk and Austin, for those that were watching back then, they had
Texas boys.
Beef. At this point, I think Funk had retired about 6 times already.
One thing I appreciate more now that I'm older, always appreciate Austin's boots.
Why?
Just the low-cut wrestling boots. Love it. I miss wrestling boots. More girls than guys wear them.
That's true.
I don't like the kick pads in those little shoes. I like it when Punk and Brian do it.
I like the kick pads because the sound they make when you do the kicks. But yeah, it goes
way better than slapping your thigh.
It goes for certain guys.
I only like when Alberto slapped his thigh.
It works for guys like Punk and Brian and certain guys. I don't want to see the Miz wearing kick pads. I think that was dumb. I love the Miz, but
he seems like the kind of guy that should wear boots.
Yeah. So yeah, it's specific to.
It's not like he's throwing crazy kicks or anything.
It's weird, but I feel like independent wrestlers, if they're rolling with kick pads, you came from the Indies. That's cool. You know what I mean?
I bet you
that's a weird bias.
Most indie guys probably wear.
That's
kick
a weird bias. I don't mind Kyle O'Reilly wearing kick pads,
but he throws a shitload of kicks.
Yeah, but guys that are known throwing kicks. The Punk was known throwing
vicious kicks. Who's this guy?
Is this a Rocky Maivia?
The Maiva? Muva?
This jabroni didn't make it anywhere.
No.
Wonder where he's at now.
Curly-headed fuck.
Rest in peace, Rocky Johnson, by the way. I know that happened already, and we said that, but... Do you hear the rumors about the funeral and Vince and Pat Patterson?
Like recently?
Yeah, that Vince and Pat attended the funeral, and Superstar Billy Graham put out this this Facebook post about how they were drunk there, and Vince said something rude, and...
Well, of course, he's going to say
Vince
that.
Vince said that the greatest thing Rocky Johnson ever did was having kids.
Billy Graham's an idiot. He's the guy. He's the one going around telling everyone to do steroids.
But then, listen, I don't believe it either. The moment I saw him, this isn't true.
It's a lie. Vince is an idiot. Vince wouldn't do some shit.
But then Harry Smith was on the podcast with someone on YouTube that's popular. I forget the name right now, but you guys know who they are. I can't think of the name right now. Wow. But he also vouched for it and said, yeah, that happened.
I feel like I've seen that David Boy Smith one.
It's a very popular channel on YouTube. The fact that I think it starts with a D.
I can't remember now. Yeah, I feel like I've seen the.
Someone asked me if I've ever thought about working for them, and now that's why I know the name. It starts with a D. YouTube.
I feel like I saw clips of it.
No, what's it called, man? Just go to YouTube. Here comes Mankind, Mick Foley, who honestly, in 1996-97, when I first started watching wrestling, scared me a lot more than The Undertaker did. And that's obviously because The Undertaker was a good guy and Foley was a
I never had much of an opinion on
him. I came into wrestling in the midst, watching it live on TV, because once again, I grew up
honestly,
I grew up on tapes and stuff, but I came in the midst of the Mick Foley-Undertaker feud.
I watched all that, but I remember actually really paying attention when it was the whole Dude Love thing. Him and Austin were partners and fighting each other over the edge. And
how big of an Undertaker fan were you? See, that's what
pretty big.
Because I was for me, Taker, Brett, Shawn, those are my guys.
Growing up, he was always one of the main guys.
So I was invested in the Undertaker feud, and everyone I love Brett and Shawn. Brett was my hero. Shawn was
I wonder if it actually starts with a D.
And Shawn, the guys that have Hannibal TV. That's
the comedian?
Yeah, Harry Smith confirms unusual behavior at Rocky Johnson funeral on Hannibal TV. I know it didn't start with a D.
What's the unusual behavior?
According to Rosen, though, the incidents were not as bad as reports made them seem. While McMahon did say the best thing Rocky ever did was marrying Atta and having kids, he claims it was something that the former wrestler said about himself on countless occasions. Vince was not short, but he was direct. He told Nicholson Hannibal TV, he said probably what Rocky would have wanted someone to say about him. He was a talented worker. Oh, so he didn't say it. And then Patterson was accused of referring to Rocky as a motherfucker. mind my language, and getting pulled off the stage.
When you've been around a guy for years and years and years, and you're at his like, it's probably more of a celebration of life than a funeral.
Honestly,
there was outrage about him saying "God damn it."
Yeah.
Which everyone
get over it.
Yeah, it's not the end of the world. It's not.
That's Devon's brother coming with the info right off his phone over here. The stats guy.
Great analysis.
Stat guy Jobin over here.
Stat guy Job.
Just over here dropping that. Thank you. But yeah, that's what. Did you hear about that at all? Now that I've talked about it?
No, I don't know. I haven't heard about that.
Yeah,
it's probably not that big of a rumor.
It came from Billy Graham, so everyone took it as a grain of salt. Obviously,
he's an idiot,
just like I did too. But then after
he posts the weirdest, dumbest shit. His rants are so stupid.
After Harry Smith talked about it, it threw me off, and I was like,
that'd make it a little more.
Because believable. I know Harry's a good guy.
It'd make it a lot more believable.
He's a
straight shooter.
Yeah, he's not going to bullshit anybody. Yeah. But anyways, besides that, let's get back to the men's Rumble before this 1990. We might actually watch another Rumble after this, considering the fact that I still got to talk about
Edge.
So we're back now. We had a little bit of technical difficulties, and we are paused at 2 hours, 2 minutes, and 42 seconds. So we're at the count of, I'm going to do a 5-second countdown, and at 0, hit play. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Rocky Maivia is just getting back in the ring. It's Mankind, just almost eliminating Terry Funk. Fake Diesel, Glenn Jacobs in there with Rocky Maivia and Austin and Bret Hart. We're talking about the Men's Royal Rumble, and you're talking about Edge. You wanted Edge to come back.
I'm dying for it. I called it the second he stopped doing that podcast. Remember I told you?
Yeah.
And you were like, dude, I never even thought of that.
I didn't, and let's go down to people that are in the Men's Royal Rumble, because then after this, we'll probably watch another match or something, because I do want to talk about AEW, because I really enjoyed it this week. But
McIntyre's going to be the Iron Man.
We got Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, AJ Styles, Eric Rowan, Randy Orton, Rey Mysterio, Ricochet, Drew McIntyre, Elias, King Corbin, who I still think might not make it after the Falls Count Anywhere match, Dolph Ziggler, Otis and Tucker, Rusev, Bobby Lashley, Aleister Black, Buddy Murphy, Braun Strowman, Shinsuke Nakamura, Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, Samoa Joe, Kofi Kingston, Big E, R-Truth, John Morrison, and The Miz.
That's a good field.
I know a lot of people are
so many Raw guys.
I know a lot of people are probably sitting here thinking like, oh my god, like there's not. Oh, Flash Funk is in here. Remember Flash Funk?
Too cold.
I know, but it's so crazy that I found out.
Yo, that's a good field. That's a good field of guys.
But yeah, anyone that ever complains like, oh, like there's not enough room for surprises, like it's actually like a solid. It's using the current talent.
You only need 1 or 2 or 3 surprises at most,
and you're using the current talent, and it's stacked. Like this is all. You're not experiencing any expenses. Like realistically, if you're looking at it as a younger fan, not as an older fan, if you're looking at it as a younger fan, you're just sitting there like Roman Reigns could win, Brock Lesnar could win, AJ Styles could win, Randy Orton could win. Rey Mysterio could win. Drew there's a bunch of big names in here that are believable win.
I'm going to say the guy I want to win every single year, Kevin Owens.
Yeah, and then Kevin Owens is in there. Samoa Joe's in there. Seth Rollins in there. These are big names. Then you have guys that are like a little bit lower than those guys, but like people that people like Aleister Black, Buddy Murphy, Ricochet, Drew McIntyre, John Morrison, The Miz. Kofi Kingston, whether we want to believe it or not, is a former WWE champion. Like he has that credibility.
You know what's a hard thing to think about? What's Rollins going to do at Mania?
I think this feud's going to continue. I think there's going to be some sort of Rollins, Owens, Joe, Murphy situation maybe.
At Mania?
I think
that
so.
long?
Yeah, he's a messiah, man. Unless they do
Vader time.
Vader. I was a big Vader fan. It's time. It's Vader time.
Yo, everybody loved. Dun, dun, dun.
But what I was going to say about Rollins, if they do what I've wanted them to do for a while, what I wanted to do when Seth was the champ is have Aleister Black come kick his head. You're the Messiah.
I'd be down for Rollins and Aleister, or I'd be down for Rollins and Rey.
But who's going to speak against someone calling himself a Monday Night Messiah than someone that's so like dark and creepy like Aleister Black, who's like anti-Christ, religion, like his own. You know what I mean?
That would be a sick match.
The promos went back and forth about that. Like you call yourself a Messiah. Like I can see Aleister Black talking about that. You know, and Seth not wanting to fight him. And then Seth going to Buddy Murphy, like,
that'd be sick.
What like avoiding him at all Black guy, you know?
I would like that a lot.
Throwing the AOP on Aleister Black and then still Owens and Joe, like it's a. Anyways,
it's a good field, man. There's a lot of good guys.
Rusev's in here, Bobby Lashley's in here. Obviously, that feud's gonna get some time in here. So that's 20.
Otis should be a fun little. Otis will be a fun little segment.
Room for 8 more entrants.
No, only 4.
4?
Yeah, it says 27 of the 30. Says.
And Miz and Morrison.
And you're thinking Corbin's not gonna make it.
And Miz and Morrison just announced that they're gonna be back in it. Today on SmackDown.
And you're saying Corbin's probably not going to make it.
And I think Corbin won't make it after the Falls Count Anywhere match.
Or even R-Truth.
Are Ziggler and Bobby Roode in here? No.
I don't think Rude Ziggler is.
Ziggler is no Rude. Rude could be someone that can come in, one of those people that people think is going to be a surprise and they boo him. And leaves a couple of rooms. So
Number 1, I bet you Shinsuke is
28,
1.
30.
I bet you
There's room
Shinsuke and AJ come in 1 and 2.
There's three surprises. I still want Matt Riddle to come in as number 2 against Brock. I think that'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
Um,
It'll probably be R-Truth after this.
I don't think. I honestly
last week.
considering who the legends are. I don't really care to see any legends come back. To be honest.
No.
Walter would be awesome.
Like, who would I want to see come in there? Cena is technically a legend that I wouldn't mind coming in the Rumble. I'd be like, oh shit, Cena's here.
That'd be great.
That's dope. You know
Edge.
what I mean? And Edge. That's the only other guy. But once again,
CM Punk
let's
comes in
talk
and win
about
it.
this Edge thing because I thought about it since the first time we talked about it. CM Punk is a popular prediction that people love to have.
I wish.
But the Edge thing. I am down with Edge to come back only if he's just going to go to Mania to have one last match.
Why one last?
I don't want him. I'm scared for him to stick around. I just don't see it.
Daniel Bryan stuck
And
around.
where does he fit in?
One match with who?
I don't know, but where does Edge fit in?
Don't forget how good Edge is on the mic. He fits
I
in
know, but
everywhere.
Where, I know, but it seems like it's been so long since he's been gone.
Him and McIntyre, him and Knock, him and Rollins.
I know, but I don't know. It just seems like so long ago.
Him and Joe, him and Corbin.
I guess so. But I think, I also don't want him to be injured again. I didn't mean to do that, but I hope he doesn't get injured again. You know what I mean? He clearly wasn't allowed.
Yo, Bryan's been fine.
Yeah, I guess so. Edge versus The Fiend.
I would love that.
So, anyways, popular picks. Obviously, and then once again, we have to. There's
For some reason, I think Brock's gonna win.
If there's 3 people, right? So we said maybe like a Matt Riddle or someone. Is this the Undertaker? Is this the Phenom coming in to the Royal Rumble? Was number 30?
No, Crush.
She said Crush. We're down to the final stretch of the 1997 Royal Rumble. If you watch along with us, number 30, the Undertaker, coming to do his thing. Fought Vader earlier in the night, so remember there's some tension between those two still. So we got Fake Diesel in there, Flash Funk, Mankind, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Henry O. Godwin, Rocky Maivia, whoever that is. And
No, that's Phineas, isn't it?
I believe it's...
No, that's Henry.
Henry came in first in the yellow, and then Phineas came later. And then he became Naked Midian. And the Hitman's out there. And Hillbilly Jim on the outside. Not as fun to look at.
Good run for Fake Diesel.
That's what I mean. They gave Fake Diesel so much offense in this Rumble. And I remember as a kid being so confused. I'm like, why is this guy in here so long if he's a Fake Diesel? He's literally the last 5.
I forgot they lasted this long.
No, Razor got eliminated fast.
No, but I mean,
it went
on
from
the show.
September to February, I think.
Yeah. Jim Ross brought them back.
I remember thinking that was a great promo. I had no idea where it was going, and then this Razor came on. I'm like, what? That was a good promo from Jim Ross, though. Let's give him that. Anyways, so you think Brock's gonna win? Obviously, so we say we want a surprise from NXT, like a Matt Riddle coming there to face off against Brock.
Walter.
And then Walter be going too. That he said he's down to do that in an interview today, right? And then there's Edge, who you want. I think the last person has to be the person that's gonna eliminate Brock. So it's either Tyson Fury or Cain Velasquez. Or Dominic comes and eliminates Brock. Oh, and we're also forgetting the Big Show returned recently, and he's not announced for this Rumble. Big Show could be coming out as number 30
He's had a great run.
with that fist fight. But yeah, I don't know. Kane was back for a week.
Yo, what was that? Why did Big Show just come and go?
To help Kevin Owens and Samoa Joe.
Didn't even promote a show like everybody said he was going to do or nothing.
To remind people that he's around. Why did Kane just come and go for a week? To help Daniel Bryan fight off Kane?
Weren't people saying that he's going to be facing Daniel Bryan at Saudi? Not Daniel Bryan, The Fiend, sorry.
Yeah, in Saudi, that's what was being advertised. Which might still happen.
Dude, he's got a job.
He's had a job for a while. And
I think my brother was saying that last time they sent all the money to the county or something like that he's going to get paid.
Yeah, because remember he came back for the short Team Hell No run before, I think, Bryan got injured again or something? Or did Kane get injured? Remember they came back for a Team Hell No run?
Dr. Shelby came back too.
Yeah, Shelby came back.
When was that? That was a couple years ago, wasn't
Shelby also came back for the Sasha Bailey stuff that went nowhere because they just became best friends again.
Who were they facing? Was it against New Day or something? Who were they facing?
That's what I was trying to think about. I was actually trying to think. I'm like, who did the
Shield?
Team? Was it? No, it was on SmackDown. Bryan just came off his feud with The Miz.
Roster split?
It was probably during the wild card era.
Slater and Rhino? No.
The Bar?
Maybe.
No, it wasn't. Anyways, predictions. You think Brock's going to win? I think it's going to be a SmackDown guy, and I think it's going to be Roman Reigns. I think Brock's going to be eliminated by whoever his opponent at WrestleMania is going to be, and I think Roman Reigns is going to win the Rumble and go face the Fiend at WrestleMania.
I just feel like it's so obvious they might not go in that direction.
I mean, it was really obvious Seth was going to win last year. It was obvious. And it was also very predictable.
Little different, though.
And it was also really predictable that Becky was going to come back in and somehow win that Rumble last year. Like, we knew that was going to happen. We didn't know
That's
how.
good, though. I enjoyed it.
And I enjoyed it. So I'm saying, like, I think if the predictable in this...
I'm really glad they brought up the whole Asuka thing, though, because the whole time I was just like, is nobody going to talk about how Asuka beat her?
Yeah, they didn't for so long. And they didn't... Austin didn't just beat her once. He beat her at TLC, beat her again at the Rumble, and then... And it's good.
Yeah, they had a ladder match or something, right?
Yeah, with Charlotte, Asuka, and Becky. Well, Asuka went over and everyone was shocked because that was the last thing I
Does Ronda come back?
That's what I was going to say about the women's. If Ronda hasn't impregnated herself yet, a surprise appearance in the Rumble wouldn't hurt.
Nah.
And getting eliminated by Shayna or something?
No, never.
Yeah, and then you build Shayna's like...
They're only going to show them as buddies.
Yeah, but then that little quick turn, and then Ronda's like, what the hell? You know?
You just need a big match for
and
Becky.
And then you know that also makes Shayna like Shayna's going after Becky? She also eliminated Ronda.
You need a big match for Becky.
Shayna, man. It's Shayna. I think you watch NXT more than I do.
Here's the thing. I think it's big, but I don't think it's that big, especially in their eyes.
It's not going to main event the show. The women are main eventing the show this year.
No, obviously not, but they still want it to be big. Becky's like still a really big star.
She's beaten everybody.
Have Charlotte
She's
again.
beaten Charlotte. She's beaten Sasha. She's beaten Natalya. She's beaten Sarah Logan.
On one show,
Asuka
have Charlotte and Becky, and then the other one have Sasha and Bayley. Have Sasha win the Royal Rumble.
I
would love to see Sasha win that big
match.
I
want Sasha to win the Rumble. Sasha's lost so many big... She should have won at WrestleMania 32. She should have won the Hell in a Cell against Charlotte. She should have won the Hell in a Cell against Becky.
32
she should win this Rumble. Dude, she came out in the Eddie gear. She had the grandest entrance out of the three of them. She had Snoop Dogg with her, confetti. Dude, my first WrestleMania, and rocking in my adult life, rocking a Sasha Banks t-shirt. I was ready for that.
What shirt?
It wasn't a WWE shop one.
Did you have the rings too?
It was boss time, baby. But obviously that didn't happen. So yeah. So I'm gonna go with Roman Reigns. Do you have a prediction for the men's Royal Rumble, Roman?
I'm just hoping Drew wins it.
Drew's a good pick though, and it's different.
I love how quick he got over it as a face.
The best thing is when the person you think is gonna win, like I think Roman is gonna win, it doesn't win, and it's like whoa.
Yeah.
Like that's the best feeling.
I just feel like Drew's so obvious right now. But then again, like I can't see him facing the Brock or the Fiend.
It'd have to be Brock. It wouldn't be the Fiend. But this is the thing, because you pointed this earlier. There actually is enough time to build that from now to WrestleMania. Heyman saying they don't take Drew seriously. Drew becoming more of a killer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's time for that. That's it for the Royal Rumble predictions. If you guys are still tuned in, Terry Funk just got eliminated by Mankind.
Is there what's on
There's Jimmy Corderas.
What's on the pre-show for Royal Rumble?
I don't even think there's anything there yet. The Usos aren't going to be in the match, but they'll probably be involved with the Roman stuff. I also do strong. I get that Otis is over. I'm not a huge fan of tag teams being in the Rumble.
I am.
I don't know.
You need bodies, and especially those guys are fun.
I know. I get it, but I mean, like they have enough bodies this year. You know, they got a lot of guys.
Adds another dynamic to it, though.
Yeah, I guess so. When a tag team partner eliminates a partner, and they're like, "Oh my god, they're going to work together or not?" So if
Otis is going to be so funny in there.
If you're watching the Rumble, we're down to
another reason I'd like Rikishi.
Huge. So Austin is in there with Fake Diesel, Bret Hart, Vader, and The Undertaker. These are the final five. Fake Diesel is in the final five. Now Bret eliminates Austin, but the refs are too busy with Mankind and Terry Funk, who won't leave ringside.
Yeah, the end of this year is when Kane debuts.
Yeah, and now that's so crazy to think about. And now Austin's back and he sneaks back in because the refs did not see him get eliminated by Austin. He goes eliminates Vader and The Undertaker, who are
Fake Diesel's in there longer.
Fake Diesel's in the final three. Gets eliminated by Bret. And Austin comes...
And because Bret thought he already eliminated Austin.
Didn't see that coming. And Jimmy Corderas in there being a bad referee. Shout out to Jimmy. And Austin wins his first Royal Rumble.
The tape off one of his wrists is gone.
It was clobbering time, that's why.
I remember he said in his podcast one day, someone asked him, like, oh, hey, why do you wear that black tape or whatever? He goes, tape is the difference between an athlete and a stripper or something like that.
You look half naked without it.
Bret's going off.
And Bret's pissed. This is like the first time that we're seeing Bret snap. This is where Bret first started feeling that Bret's getting
Remember
screwed.
He was talking on, like, Wrestling with the Shadows or whatever? He's like, you're basically killing my character. Where does he go now?
I mean, it was a great run. I think 97 was like his best run, to be honest. I loved heel.
Yeah,
Braun.
but the way they told stories was more like our style at this time too.
Yeah.
There wasn't a lot of pay-per-views, and like Raw was totally different before that.
So this is one of the. It happens every once in a while, but this also was one of the rare occasions the Rumble wasn't the main event. The show went on after this, and Michaels fought Psycho Sid in the main event. Del Rio loves the WWF. That's not Alberto. There you go. This is another one of those little small signs of finding out that Vince is the owner. He didn't go. He went and started talking crap to Vince about this whole situation.
Right?
And back then, like, he's just the commentator. Why is he yelling at Vince?
Subtly throughout these couple years here, someone would always say like, "Oh, Vince, you got to do something," or they'd point at him.
96, 97, like when Piper came back as the temporary president, he was joking around with Vince.
Even when Diesel was champ, didn't he make some comments toward Vince too?
Always. They subtly in 96 and 97. It was always so subtle. It is just weird because the best about this time is it was so much more. Like I said, wrestling back in the day
it felt so much more intense.
It felt raw. It
felt
wasn't
intense.
so. It wasn't so overly scripted.
It felt like there was hatred.
Yeah, it wasn't scripted word for word, moment for moment. Like people would say things, throw jabs, and they didn't get scared about getting in trouble.
Brett actually makes it seem like he totally got screwed.
Yeah, and the promos were authentic. Like once again, go watch a Sheamus promo from tonight, and you'll be like, it was just
like they subtly did it, but they didn't totally give it away.
It felt real.
Like now they would have been commenting nonstop about Austin, I bet.
Or they would have been hinting it or something, Anyways, this was a good Rumble. Hope you guys enjoyed watching it with us. Royal Rumble 97. I know we jumped around and talked about the Rumble predictions for tomorrow, this Sunday. The other thing I really wanted to talk about was AEW this week. Did you guys catch it at all?
A bunch of it, not the whole thing.
Dude,
Run it down.
It gave me some Club La Vila, Spring Break, WCW Nitro vibes. And listen, a lot of people will try to compare AEW to WCW Nitro or WCW generally, and they say it as like an insult or a negative way. But I loved WCW and I enjoyed it, and I like the similarities.
I enjoyed it back then.
I get a pop out of the fact that it reminds me of something from my childhood. That's
but
not a bad thing.
But I also do specifically remember like giving up on it.
I remember giving up. It was the early 2000s where I gave up on it, and it doesn't feel like early 2000s WCW. It feels like 96, 97.
It just felt like stupid chaos.
Yeah. Like, they threw MJF in the pool, and now it gave me such WCW vibes.
Right.
But it was good, and Jim Cornette was going off about how stupid that is. Like, why would you throw MJF in the pool, this and that. And I'm like,
he's a heel.
I'm like, it was good. It was funny. It doesn't even hurt him at all. There was a pool there, and obviously someone's going to book something for the pool. Like, And he's a heel. Him getting thrown in the pool does it. He's like, MJF should put Joey Janela in the pool, and people should have came and stopped MJF from doing it. Like, why are you trying to get him over? He's over as a heel already.
But that makes him even bigger heel.
If you're trying to throw Joey Janela in there? Anyways, let's look at the card. Hangman Page and Kenny Omega won the tag team titles. I was a big fan of that.
That's good because I honestly forgot who the tag champs were.
It was SCU, and it was a good match.
But they haven't really done much since they won the belt.
It was honestly, overall, I think everything I enjoyed on the show more just because it was on a boat. Because it was on a cruise ship.
Sick venue.
And the one thing AEW's done is we know how we're excited about the Rumble being in a baseball stadium. Like,
you know who was super excited?
Who?
Justin Roberts.
Was he?
Did you see the way he introduced Moxley?
Yeah,
he hung that Gian out for like 10 minutes.
I just seemed like a good time, man. But I love it when they're in different stadiums. And AEW, like when they go back to Jacksonville and they're in that.
What do you think the male to female ratio is on that cruise?
Like 90% male and like 10% fememal.
Really, eh?
And those 10% are the people's wives.
I'd give it more females than that. Well, yeah, obviously they're people's like girlfriends and wives, but
there's a lot of dudes on there. And I think like compared to the first cruise, the second one's a lot of dudes.
The first one was such a success.
Yeah, he's doing a third one. He's already announced it. The cool thing, another thing that stood out to me was the fans. Obviously, it's Jericho's Cruise, but them singing along with Judas. Such a cool moment.
Great song.
And even like as a top heel, he still had to like embrace it. He's like, oh, they're like singing the lyrics. The music stopped and they were still singing it. And I'm like,
it's his song, so you could be the heel and still the rock star, Chris Jericho.
Yeah, and it was dope. So I was excited for Britt Baker versus Priscilla Kelly just because they're two women that I actually do understand and see a future in. Like I'm sorry, like when they throw Sheeta on there, or Statlander, or Riho, like I don't know them well enough to care.
No, I agree.
It wasn't the greatest.
I like Priscilla Kelly.
I like Priscilla Kelly.
I didn't want to give her a chance because I remember that whole tampon thing or whatever.
That
totally isn't even who she is, really.
No, that's one thing she did. It's not, and that's one thing she did one time. It's not like she's doing it every time like Joey Ryan.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? And it worked in her favor. It went viral. People talked about it. If anyone says Priscilla Kelly, you'll be like the tampon girl.
But she didn't
she made herself relevant.
She didn't really become the tampon girl, though.
I know, but it's relevant, you know? But Britt Baker vs. Priscilla Kelly, it wasn't the best match. It was good, though. I know a lot of people didn't like the Britt Baker promo after, and they like it didn't come off great or whatnot.
With Shivani?
But I thought it was pretty funny.
With Shivani?
Yeah. The whole used to be a barista.
Well, you got a good gif out of it.
The whole tone she made out of it, like she didn't like try to overact it. She was acting like she was saying these things. Which, if you don't like her and you don't like it because of that promo, then she's being a good heel. She turned you against her. Now you think she sucks? Money. That's exactly what she wants you to think. She wants you to think she sucks.
She could really use being a heel.
Was it a botch, like not a great promo? Maybe it wasn't a great promo, but I actually think it was more just her trying to get you guys to think she sucks, and I think it worked. You know, she's pulling the things that she's smart, she's etiquette. She also dropped the "I'm the hottest person on the ship," like probably true. You know, I mean, Priscilla Kelly's done Penelope Ford.
The best heels always have a little bit. The best heels always have a little bit of truth in them. Right?
Yeah, you know, she is probably in the group of the hotter girls on there. The Inner Circle was Jurassic Express. I love Jurassic Express. I'm always entertained by them. Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy especially. Marco Stunt. But the Inner Circle.
You see his little performance?
On what? Oh, when he was singing, I didn't see it. I saw Moxie doing karaoke.
It was pretty good. He killed it.
Did he?
Yeah.
Is Marco Stunt growing on you?
No.
Okay. I was like, oh, is Devon becoming a Marco Stunt fan?
He's just like me. He's not growing at all.
It was a good match, though. The Inner Circle picked up the win, but they gave Jurassic Express enough like offense and stuff to make it look like it'd be... Ortiz is such a good seller, by the way. Can I just point that out? Like, that guy knows how to sell and make it entertaining.
They need more match time.
Yeah. MJF versus Joey Janela. So it was a good little match between two guys that people know that have worked together in CZW in the past before.
Mm-hmm.
And once again, I listened to Cornette's podcast earlier, so I'm just going to refer to it again. He was complaining of the fact that, they had, Penelope and Kip Sabian to come up there to distract them just to let Janela lose. I just think he doesn't like...
I like that. It's a good little...
I think it is. I just think Cornette doesn't like Janela so much that he just wanted him to lose clean. But he's like, they should have let MJF win to get him over, this and that. But I think it was a good way. I think it's a good little sub-storyline with Janela and Kip Sabian. And we're both Kip Sabian fans, right?
Yeah,
Kip's the
big
man.
time.
And Penelope's... She's the homie and she's smoking. So I think it's a good feud. And it's blurring the lines between reality and, script because they actually used to date in the past and there's something to that.
So Janela and Penelope actually were...
They dated for years. When I first met Penelope and Janela, they were dating. They were together. And then even the 2 times I hung out with them, they were together. They were a couple. They were a pair.
I didn't know that. I thought that was just like storyline.
And then right before all AEW started...
is Kip and her actually dating now?
So it's right before AEW started. Like I guess some point before AEW like fully kicked off, they began dating each other. They broke up. Because even at the press conference where Janela and Penelope showed up and like attacked MJF or whatever, they weren't together at that point.
Yo, wrestlers are about that life.
And then at some point, Penelope started dating Kip. And then they're like, let's turn this to an angle. I'm like, this is probably... It's going to be good. Janela's already kind of
was Penelope the hottest person on the show?
That's what I was saying. That's what I said earlier. I'm like, I know Britt Baker said that, but I'm like, I mean, Penelope's on the boat, and so is Priscilla's pretty hot too. I'm like, you know what I mean? But still, But yeah, I like the story. I'm down with it.
Booker was on the ship too, eh?
Well, yeah, Booker's there, Ric Flair, a couple of these guys, Scott Hall, MJF.
That'd be hard.
What?
Scott Hall?
He's on there.
But there's just like so much drinking and all that shit going on. That's got to be tough, man.
It probably is. But you know what? He saw us drinking in the lobby on All In weekend, and he came and said what's up to us after. He's like, what are you guys doing here? Just a bunch of us hanging on the lobby. He came down to like check something.
That's got to be so tough,
and
man.
He did not drink, though. He didn't drink.
Of course. But I mean, it's still probably hard.
I think he'd like find something.
That's like a total party environment.
He did hit the pen. He's like, oh, what's this?
Okay.
He's like, what's this little mechanical thing? What is this thing? He's like, let me try to.
Calms you down.
Yeah. And then he kicked it. He hung out for a bit. He talked to us for a bit. That was the night Penelope introduced me to him.
I'm just thinking like on that cruise, like
no, 100%.
atmosphere, that's probably so tough.
100%. And I think like the beers like paid for when you pay for the cruise or something. So like
no, most cruises don't do booze all inclusive.
Well, I don't know because all I know,
or they might give you a certain amount of credit.
Maybe,
but usually it's like a food credit, and you pay for the booze.
wrestlers and stuff get free booze.
Because usually it's a food credit, and then you pay for.
I know,
the booze.
but maybe the wrestlers get free booze. So at some point during the show, Jim Ross said, "Oh, well, the beer is free anyways."
I'm sure, especially if you have like a show or a talk or something like that.
Yeah, because Jim Ross said the beer is free anyways on the show on AEW. That's why I had that idea. Because at some point he's like,
maybe during the taping.
Yeah, maybe during the taping, or maybe for the admin stuff. Maybe for like JR guys, the beer is free and shit. Who knows? But
It's such a sick idea, man.
yeah,
Like doing the show, like,
but it's so good. Like I actually like, and this is one thing. Like,
and like they had a good setup too, because you
Listen-
saw a lot of that one
Yeah.
cam that like moves and goes in for the zoom or
I
whatever.
love Raw.
So like they
I love
obviously had like a
SmackDown.
crazy setup.
But if Raw and SmackDown would be in like different places every once in a while, like it's nice to have that little change every once in a while. AEW is usually in stadiums, but every other week, every like maybe once a month, they're in some weird place that makes it feel different, and it's great. And then obviously Cody Rhodes came out. He can't touch MJF. This led to the Young Bucks coming out and throwing MJF in the pool, which we talked about a bit earlier, and I thought it was a cool little segment.
Yeah, every
There's
Raw,
a pool
SmackDown
there.
looks, every Raw and SmackDown looks the same.
It looks
right?
the same, no matter what arena, what stadium they're in. It looks the same. It's okay. Devon's dog is trying to join the show here. Then the main event, Pac versus Moxley, which was a hell of a main event. Two guys I'm really fond of when it comes to AEW. And Moxley was obviously going to win, but they did in a fashion where it took him like, a couple of his DVDs.
Was it obvious though?
I mean, they were leading to Moxley versus Jericho. It was never going to be Pac versus Jericho. Cool
Is
thing,
Moxley the one to take the title?
maybe.
I think he should.
The cool thing about this too is like, the show was Omega versus Omega and Hangman. Well, that was the first title change in AEW history. First time
they
the
were
titles
saying
changed
that.
hands, which was like, it was cool, man. And you're right. Like, at this point, the SCU thing, they were the first ever tag champs.
Need a mid card title, man.
They do, because guys like Pac and Darby Allin and Joey Janela and MJF, all these guys could really have that title be a thing. But anyways, I really enjoyed it. I think once again, the atmosphere of it, where the show was booked, was what really, really made it for me a lot more entertaining. NXT was good too, but I don't know. I think I just enjoyed it.
Yeah, the Keith Lee win.
The Keith Lee win. Imperium coming out there doing the thing. That chop on Adam Cole from Walter was just, you could hear that, dude.
Yo, his soul left his body.
Yeah, that was wild. I don't know who was supposed to credit anymore, because I really think a lot of it's Adam Cole. From getting pushed into the crowd, like flying away from Keith Lee, to getting chopped from Adam Cole is like on a different level, and I think people are slowly going to start realizing that if they haven't already.
Making everybody look good, but still looking like the best himself.
And he's the champ, so it doesn't matter. He's the champ. He can back up anything that happens to him. Other things I really enjoyed. I'm starting to really enjoy the relationship between Pete Dunne and Matt Riddle. They're just making
kind of.
a little weird.
It's still
and
weird
silly.
for me.
And I kind of I had a chat.
You're talking about manipulating joints, bro.
That's true. But otherwise, NXT was really good this week too. I'm looking forward to next week, because I like Tegan Nox, I like Dakota Kai. They're finally going to revisit that feud and then go at it. I like Rhea Ripley, but I just don't care about Bianca Belair that much.
Not at all.
And it was cool.
Not a fan.
It was a cool little foreshadowing seeing Toni Storm hold up the belt. And I'm more intrigued to see Toni Storm.
And she's beat Rhea twice.
Yeah, so I'm more intrigued to see Toni Storm versus Rhea than I
I
am.
even remember when that first title change happened when she beat Rhea. I was like, even then, I was just like, what?
And they gave Shayna some redemption by beating Shanti Blackheart or whatever her name is.
Yeah.
Shotty Blackheart.
Because she got eliminated from the Battle Royal.
Exactly. So then hopefully we see Shayna in the Women's Royal Rumble. Anyways, I enjoy and appreciate you guys tuning in for this week's
Yeah, thanks,
audio
guys.
episode.
Sorry for the late drop.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to drop this in the next 20 minutes. Actually, I'm gonna try to put up ASAP. But I do appreciate you guys tuning in, watching the Royal Rumble with us, and hearing our predictions. And I did really want to quickly talk about AEW. We'll hopefully be back in the studio next week. This will be on iTunes and Spotify and Google Play and Podbean and wherever else you can find the
I use
TWC
Podbean.
Show.
That's my shit.
It's also on Flick Chat, because the podcast RSS feed is linked to the Flick Chat, so you can listen to newest episodes on Flick Chat. Another thing I want to say, I did drop a bonus episode this week. I did an interview with MJF back in 2016, and I put that out there on the RSS feed.
Wow.
So if you guys want to go listen to me talk to MJF before he turned into a total jackass, and he was actually nice to me because he was trying to get some clout off of me.
Before you were the second greatest podcaster on the planet.
Because he wanted my clout, so he was my friend, but now he big leagues me. But it was a good interview. It was a good interview with MJF. You get to hear about him in CZW, doing some extra work for WWE.
I had no idea he did CZW.
He had interactions with Finn Balor and John Cena where he did extra work for WWE. He tells stories about
He's
that.
like a security guard or whatever, right?
Yeah, he talks. That was with Samoa Joe. He talks about Kurt Hawkins training with him. It was 2016, so it was a different time. You can hear MJF as he was coming up, and now seeing where he is today, it's kind of cool to go back and listen to that show and be like, damn, like this guy put in the work to be where he is. At that point, it was 2016. His nickname was the 2-year vet. He was only wrestling for 2 years in 2016. He started in 2014-15.
I remember when I randomly started following him on Twitter, like way back, and then he just kept coming up. I was like, sick.
Yeah, and he tells the story about how my page inspired him to run away from college and tell his dad he wanted to start wrestling. And I always like that story because now look at him. But shout out to him. I think at one point we talked about he's trying to encourage me to be like a manager. He's like, why don't you really be a manager in wrestling or something?
It's tough.
And you might hear that when you listen to this 2016 episode with MJF. I'm thinking about dropping a couple more bonus episodes. I got episodes with the Singh brothers and El Phantasmo from back in the day.
We gotta get the Singh brothers in studio.
So I was thinking about dropping those again just as bonus episodes. If you guys follow and subscribe to the TWC Show, they will pop up. Sorry about Devon's dog.
Yeah.
We're heading out. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Follow Devon on Twitter, DLAL1990. You can follow me on Instagram, The Wrestling Classic, TWC Worldwide on Twitter, The Wrestling Classic on Flick Chat. And make sure you subscribe to our YouTube page. Subscribe to us on iTunes and Spotify. And we'll see you all next time. Embrace the madness. War Rumble! Ooh, yeah, dig it!
Test is still right.